around the world is Oji Okwe. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning? Like I was saying, I watched you earlier this morning and I loved your glasses. What happened? You did a change.
It reminded you of the old days. When we used to sit on the bus stools,
hosting the morning show together.
We were presenting this program once upon a time on bus stools. I used to have a whispering.
Oh, really? Okay. I think I remember.
It's okay. Better times are here.
Yeah, but
and this one has been here forever. You are an ancestor.
More than an ancestor. Good morning.
Good morning, ancestor.
How are you this morning? No, that's his title. The legendary ancestor, Dr. Ruben Abati. Good morning, Rufy on fire. How are you this morning?
Good.
Fantastic. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Well, let's begin what's trending, discussing this deeply troubling story from Ondo State, where gunmen invaded a Celestial Church of Christ in Owo local government area of the state, abducting about 6 worshippers in the early hours of Wednesday morning while the service was underway. The attack, which occurred at approximately 12:50 a.m., sent the congregation into a panic as the armed men forcefully whisked the victims away.
A scene of the kidnapping yesterday, our Celestial show. So we learned from source that 7 people were taken away, but we were still on the investigation now. So vouching for the whole OIC to take note of this and also pray for the release of one of our members which have been abducted by the kidnappers, that they should find mercy and grace so they can be released.
Every day, kidnapping up and down. We are in Owo Benin Expressway now. They block road because of they went to church yesterday. Láti lọ gbé àwọn èèyàn márùn-ún nínú ìjọ tó ń ṣe ìṣọ́ òru. This has been too much in Nigeria. And how much is our security vote? Our security vote can buy this coaster that we are saying to track all these people where they are going. Our security vote is enough to buy this coaster and track them.
I mean, he's absolutely right. This has become too much, Rufai. I mean, this is unfortunate. Worshippers should never have to fear for their lives in the house of God. Well, the Ondo State Police Command confirmed that operatives in collaboration with the Nigerian Army and local vigilante groups immediately mobilized to the scene and launched coordinated rescue operations, with one of the kidnapped victims successfully rescued. Well, a suspected informant linked to the attack has also been arrested. Well, this latest abduction comes just 4 days after terrorists kidnapped a couple in Akure North. Well, we'll pray for the safe return of all the victims. Rufai, like, that eyewitness mentioned, our security votes are enough to even buy helicopters to, for surveillance and all of that. This is one too many. And, we'll continue to highlight these stories for the security forces at this point. I know we are understaffed, but still.
Oji, it's one day, one trouble. Yes, the president recently talked about state police, but even if you put state police, there's a culture that has festered. If you put state police, I'm not sure you're going to see the result real quickly, because there are also other fears. People use them for their own political game. But there's a culture that has festered. Imagine, when I keep saying there's no security in the country, people think I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, just so what happened, people had to stay on the road for many hours before the security agents came. And after they came, what could they recover? Just only one person. What about the other person that have been kidnapped? And this is within Ondo State. Recently, Iba Gani Adams, the generalism of the area of Yoruba land, was also talking about the same. And this is a recurring decimal. As it's happening in Kwara, it's happening in Ondo, it's happening in parts of the north, it's happening in every part of this country as we speak today. Have they been able to nip it in the bud? No.
Question.
These guys always go scot-free. They will post ransom. They will get paid the ransom. You remember a couple of years ago when the former Minister of Communication was saying, let's register for NIN so that it's going to be able to fight kidnapping and everything. We've registered for NIN, national identity now. Kidnappers still go scot-free with this activity. So it's a failure of the security architecture. Even if we praise them for that and say, okay, they've done well in some area, but just, I mean, this is indicative of a country where you don't have any security architecture in place to be able to stem the tide. And it's a ticking time bomb.
It is.
But we don't know who's next. They've enveloped most areas in the southwest.
How far is Ondo State from Lagos, Rufai?
See,
no, I want to know, like, how is it?
if the coastal road is effective,
3 to 4 hours.
it's less than that, Ayo. If the coastal road is effective, in fact, there's a bridge route where you can do Ondo to Lekki in 45 minutes. It's the same coastal area now. In fact, I remember when Arakuri was still alive, he came on this show and he was talking about a deal of a bridge he wanted to do with NDDC that was going to take 45 minutes from Ondo to this Lekki corridor here.
Yeah.
What are you saying? David, look at Ogun State. Look at Oyo State. Most of this part, you are having infiltrations going on.
This is becoming alarming. I mean, the idea about
it is not if the coastal road is effective. The coastal road is still under construction. When it is completed.
Oh, when it's completed, it will be 45 minutes. I mean,
so I'm not sure that bridge I was talking about, that NDDC was going to bridge, was part of the outlay.
But even this new design, when it is completed, it will shrink travel time.
It will shrink travel time.
We used to go to Calabar 12 hours.
Yes.
Even Calabar will be like 4 hours.
But it's becoming alarming, and these kidnappings are happening in the churches at this point. I mean, 12 a.m. in the middle of prayers. This is unfortunate. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services has announced the successful arrest of Sani Yusuf, the sixth suspect linked to the devastating 2022 attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State, which claimed the lives of 40 worshippers. According to a security source, DSS officials had been on Yusuf's trail for years, finally arresting him in the Igwosa community in Ovia North local government area of the state. Yusuf was a highly ranked commander in ISWAP and had briefly relocated to Kano after the Owo church attack before moving to Edo State. According to the source, he confessed to having been involved in the planning and execution of the massacre. To this day, the Owo church attack remains one of the deadliest in the southwest region, with gunmen setting off explosives and shooting at worshippers during a Pentecost Sunday service in June 2022. Now, we commend the DSS on this. So far, 5 other suspects in connection to the attack are already on trial. And with this latest arrest, it is clear that the secret police are making real progress in holding the perpetrators accountable. More importantly, they are making it public, and that's the transparency that matters. That's what we need to see. But, speaking more on security, meanwhile, kidnapped victims reportedly from the February 3rd terrorist attack on Woro and Nuku communities in Kaiama local government area of Kwara State, where almost 200 people were killed and 176 abducted, have been paraded in a very disturbing video circulating on social media. The abductees include children, elderly men, and women in the middle of an unidentified forest. The perpetrators of the attack have been identified as Fulani-linked terrorists, with this video serving as a stark reminder of the fact that they are still living in captivity with no clarity as to when they may regain their freedom. In one hand, we commend the DSS, for the arrest, and, they have been on the trail of this ISWAP leader. I mean, at this point, also would like to charge the DSS, the security forces, to also get those abducted victims. I know that they are doing what they're supposed to do, but all we pray on this table is that these victims return home alive and safe. I guess, Dr. Abati, you can comment on both before I move to the next story.
Very quickly. Now, I think we see a justification here for state police, which the president was just talking about when he met with state governors for breaking of fast a few days ago. Perhaps if we have state police and you have, in all the states of the Federation, already endorsed by 36 states and the FCT, perhaps we'll have an improvement. And the president has said they will send an executive bill to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly is also favorably disposed. We can try it. All this talk about governors will abuse it and all of that, we'll look at it.
Yes.
After all, in this same Ondo State, under Governor Aketi, that's Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of SAN, you know, it was this insecurity that led to the issue of Amotekun and other similar initiatives in other parts of the country. Second, this is also a case, it seems to me, for collaboration.
Yes.
The security agencies have always been saying, look, security challenge is a collective responsibility. Look at the Yusuf that you mentioned.
Yes.
He was involved in Owo attack in June 2022. He was involved in kidnapping in Kaduna. He was involved in the killing of soldiers in Suleja in Niger State. And then the man just killed people in 2022, and he went to Igosa community in Edo State, and has been hiding there for the past 4 years before the DSS, focusing on the problem and, you know, remaining vigilant, fished him out.
Yes.
Perhaps if the people in Igosa had, you know, given police or the DSS information before now, they would have said there is a stranger in this town, this sleepy community. Where is he coming from? So there is also a role. Now, and why Owo local government? In 2022, it was our local government area. This year, it is Uso. In the same our local government area. Is there something about that location that is the problem?
Very
that has to be investigated. Because we have Professor Akintenewa, a member of this family in that Owo, and he's also a Celestial chief. So when I saw Celestial Church, I said, the first person that came to my mind is that nothing must happen to our professor.
Nothing must happen to our professor.
You know, security is important in that place just as in other places.
Yes.
And then to just close the subject, it's about this idea of night vigil, early morning prayers. There's nothing against people worshiping and exercising their right to freedom of thought. But do you know that some church denominations, I think the Anglican Church, for a time, I don't know whether the order is still there, I said, people should not come to church for early morning service. They should not do night vigil. You know, just do it during daytime so that you protect yourself. Even the Church of Christ, or, you know, in Nigeria, may have to re-strategize. This idea of going to...
so they should deny their own liberties because the state has provided security. What you're saying?
No. I'm
not saying religious oppression.
No. I'm not
what about the people that kidnap driving on the road?
I'm not saying...
They should not travel in the afternoon.
I'm not saying they should not worship.
That's what you're saying.
They should not worship, but heaven helps those who help themselves.
No, that's not
the final challenge is for government to pay more. I'm not denying their rights. You know, I understand what the Constitution says about freedom of thought. But the bigger challenge is for government to solve the problem.
Yes, that is the main point.
To focus more on security and to make sure that people like Yusuf don't run from Kano to Igosa and hide.
All right.
So
we want to see more of that. The government must do their job. Like we earlier commended the DSS. We want to see more of this sort of arrest. And I hope that those kidnapped victims return home unharmed. Now to an exclusive interview making waves internationally. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has pushed back strongly against claims that Christians are being systematically exterminated in Nigeria. The First Lady told CBN News in Washington that the violence in Nigeria is rooted in poverty, terrorism, and political instability rather than religious persecution. She warned that labeling it genocide could actually embolden the very terrorists carrying out the attacks. Let's take a look.
Is there genocide in Nigeria?
I don't think so. I don't think so because when you look at these areas, it was first the herders' conflict, and it has been there for years. And when you're coming into an environment that are mainly Christians, when you attack them because you go into their farmlands, and then when you have terrorists and people kidnapping for money, and when the world is throwing a narrative that is Christian genocide, they will now hit on that and begin to attack churches. And you should remember, we are getting into the election year. So there are a lot of things going on that, we don't believe that, it's really genocide the way it's being portrayed.
All right, this is a deeply complex and sensitive issue. The First Lady's words have sparked a debate both at home and among Nigerians in the diaspora. As critics argue, the numbers tell a different story. According to Open Doors World Watch list, over 70% of Christians killed worldwide in recent years have died in Nigeria. Ayo, the First Lady, is re-echoing the federal government stance that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Your thoughts?
I don't think we should be surprised at that. She's married to the president. I don't expect her to go on an international platform like that and say that, yes, there's Christian genocide, when the government's position has consistently been that there isn't. However, what I would prefer for this government, and perhaps the First Lady, in using her soft power, this soft power diplomacy, in granting interviews to convince the international community, particularly the United States of America, is to provide alternative facts. The people, the constituents themselves, people who live in these areas, have consistently said that there is, in fact, Christian genocide and, persecution based on their faith. The Christian Association of Nigeria has spoken out. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria has spoken out. There are religious leaders in the Middle Belt who have spoken out. And this is not just under the Tinubu administration. It's been there consistently before. And the only time their voices were amplified was when President Trump made that tweet. It has been there consistently. The videos of mass graves have been on consistently. And so what I would prefer, rather than just saying, I don't think so, and I mean, she's entitled to her personal opinion on that, but would be provide facts. This is the reason why I believe this isn't, because the others have shown proof. They've shown mass graves, they've talked about churches being burnt. Now they're even advising us not to go and worship in the way that we want to worship. Dr. Wati says stop the church. You can't ask people not to express their religious rights based on violence. It means that you are confirming the fact that the state has failed in providing security for Christians in the country. And so, like I said, she would say what she would say. But the truth is that the more they deny it, the more they do an injustice to the number of Christians who have been killed in the Middle Belt, in the north, in different parts of Nigeria, and the more they are playing ostrich with facing the problem. Right. I thought this was a fine moment for the Nigerian government to finally tackle this challenge and this issue that a number of Christians have cried out for a very long time. But unfortunately, it seems that they're taking the way out of just denial, but the issue persists. I'm not saying, because two truths can exist at the same time, that there are no more complex issues around herder clashes and all, but we're saying alongside that is a particular target at a particular Christian group. I also want to say that can she grant the local media interviews as well? We've seen a lot of international appearances. It would be great to have her engage with Nigerian journalists as well, and let us, fact for fact, conversation for conversation, and talk about this.
Right.
Okay, in this same interview, I want to read a part of it. She personally recounted facing persecution due to her interfaith marriage, being a Pentecostal and married to President Bola Tinubu. Specifically, a Muslim cleric publicly called her heathen and suggested that she should be stoned for openly practicing Christianity. But she noted that many who defended her against this threat were from the north, highlighting nuanced religious dynamics. Doesn't she answer the question for us?
She actually.
If it's a country that is free of persecution, should she marrying a Muslim be a problem in the first place? You see, with her own mouths, despite the fact that they try to deny, you see, hey God, Ayinla Omowura said something famously. Ayinla Omowura said, "Asoju ọ̀rọ̀ irọ́ ni mú wá." When you talk too much, you start to lie. The truth is, in this case, with her own mouth, she has come out to say that she herself also faced persecution. They keep saying there's no persecution in this country. Let's say the truth.
As a student of literature,
yes,
the part of her statement that I would take is a statement that religious issues in Nigeria are far more complex and nuanced than it is presented. The emphasis is on the nuance.
Right.
In other words, there isn't a single narrative, you know, to just say, Christians have been persecuted. What she's saying really is that there are many dimensions to the story rather than a single narrative.
She confirmed persecution.
Right. You are right, Rufai.
I said all of us are involved. The major challenge is insecurity in Nigeria, and the Nigerian government is trying to address it by seeking the cooperation of the United States and other countries. Solving the problem is where the challenge is, not about personal testimony.
I disagree with the Nigerian government approach, Oji, please. Is the fact that they are not addressing the problem by partnering with America alone. They are addressing the problem by going on a propaganda spin. Dr. Abati, we here, we are not children. We see it. We know about the $9 million being spent. If you have a problem, you don't need to spend $9 million to be going to talking to CBN and conservative media. Fix the problem. When you fix the problem, we Nigerians will go ahead and say the problem.
No, the emphasis is not propaganda.
It's propaganda.
Are you also aware, as somebody who has a microphone, that there are troops, American troops that are here. There are countries collaborating with Nigeria. That's part of the effort.
All right. Can I moderate this plan? Can I moderate this
propaganda.
May I moderate this panel?
That's a one-sided narrative.
May I moderate this panel?
Please go ahead.
May I? All right. Thank you. You are absolutely right, Dr. Abati, about the nuance in her statement. And you're also right, Rufai, about the fact that she did admit persecution.
Simplicity.
But what she actually is against is to term the whole issue around the word genocide. Well, the First Lady also used the Washington visit to thank President Trump for the Christmas Day missile strikes against terrorist holdouts, saying it was the first Christmas in recent memory where no church was attacked. I believe she did have a successful visit there in Washington. Let's now turn our attention to the drama surrounding the exit of the outgoing Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. The Nigerian police force has now been forced to respond to allegations first raised by activist Omoyele Sowore that 100 million naira from Anambra State security vote account was transferred into the personal bank account of Kayode Egbetokun's son, Victor Egbetokun. Back in January, Showere's Sahara reporters first published the explosive investigative report detailing transactions from September 2025, alleging the funds were moved from the Anambra State security vote account at Sterling Bank into Victor's personal Zenith Bank account in 4 tranches of 25 million naira each. The report further alleged that while the funds were electronically reversed, on September 29th, they were subsequently withdrawn in cash and redeposited into the same account days later. Police spokesperson Benjamin Hundeyin, speaking on live television, dismissed any insinuation of wrongdoing, insisting that the transaction was nothing more than a banking error that was promptly detected and reversed.
It doesn't really make any sense for you to just wake up and commence a campaign of calumny against him. Oh, you could remember when he said, 100 million naira was paid into the account of the son of the IGP. And you know, I called the son of the IGP immediately to find out what happened, and he explained that yes, I saw 100 million in my account, and I told my account officer to reverse the money immediately, which he did. He printed out his statement of account, he showed me, he sent it to me, I saw it, which he did. Only for Sahara reporters to say, oh yes, the money was returned, then cash was withdrawn again and paid into the IGP son's account again. And I saw the statement of account. There was nothing like that. In fact, exposing the details of the account and everything, the young man was forced to close down that account so that people would not use it to commit any other form of mischief. In any case, he has written a petition to the EFCC for that allegation to be investigated. And if it turns out that it's false, then we can invoke the EFCC would invoke the Cyber Crimes Act for cyberbullying.
All right, Rufai, I know you have a lot to say, but let me take Omoyele Showere's tweet. In response to that interview, he wrote, "This Boy Scout, Benjamin Hundeyin, who was illegally promoted to ACP by the now fired illegal IGP, admitted that Victor Egbetokun received 100 million naira from the Anambra Security Fund by accident. And because I spoke about it, Egbetokun was going to use the EFCC chairman to charge me with cyber crime. Benjamin Hundeyin should be stripped of his illegally awarded promotion and returned to work as a divisional transport officer, DTO, at a regular police station. These incompetent people should not be allowed anywhere near any serious formation. And you know, more or less, Sowore has a way with his words. No, but you know, he was the first to release this, story. And, you know, the police spokesperson did confirm that it actually happened. But, you know, Rufai, go ahead.
You see, Beno, you are my person, no. But yeah, that example, that analogy you give, Beno, I know it's your guy before. You will have not just put mouth in the matter. I know you are spokesperson, no, but that your argument no make them at all. Like we were asking in the studio, why is it not Dr. Abati's account that transfer?
I mistakenly
go to. I claim it in the name of Jesus.
Dr. Abati, that's fraud.
Prayers answered.
That's fraud. Let Nigerians not mix prayers.
Why is it the son of the serving IG that security votes money? We go to church to pray. Went to famous. Why is it not Dr. Abati's account?
So long.
Did that money go to? Why is it the son of the IG?
All right.
The question we should ask is, you know, I said this thing yesterday.
It's a coincidence.
When I said it, this is Dr. Abati here, I will call you out today. When I said this is Dr. Abati here. Dr. Abati said, that's not the substantive issue, it's the issue that the IG, there's a new IG in town. Whatever may lead to the president leaving it out of it is not substantive. Mm-hmm. Dr. Abati. Bí òwe là ń lùlù àgídìgbò. Ọlọ́gbọ́n ní gbọ́ ọmọràn ní sí mọ́. It is like the way that we are beating the agidigbo.
What? No. You have to say.
When you engage as a drummer, you are not here to command.
We have
as a drummer. Yes. Just be fair and balanced. Dr. Abati.
No, tell us in English, please.
No, be away like agidigbo means like, you know, like proverbs, that's what we beat the drum called the agidigbo.
Okay, all right.
And the interpretation connotes a lot. Mm-hmm. Please, with due respect, Egbetokun should be made. If we had a country, because as we speak now, I don't think we have anything seemingly of a country. If we had a country, by today, Egbetokun should have gone to report himself in front of EFCC.
All right.
This explanation Ben Hundeyin is trying to do on TV that is not working. It should be Egbetokun that should be explaining to the EFCC.
All right.
But nothing will happen.
Okay.
That's the sad part. We don't have a country.
All right. Well, meanwhile, in a video now trending on social media, Sowore confronted Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, in an Abuja conference room during a meeting Umahi allegedly set up with Tracy Nita Ohiri, a woman who was accused the minister of owing her 250 million naira. Sowore released the video on his X account stating that Ohiri was illegally arrested in Lagos on allegations of cyberbullying. She says the minister has owed her millions for over 12 years for campaign materials she provided during his 2014 governorship campaign. Let's take a look at the altercation between Sowore and the minister.
But minister, this Sowore, you are not supposed to be using police to settle personal scores. You are not supposed to do that.
Have you watched everything here?
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the Minister of the Federal Republic. You are not supposed to use police to settle personal scores.
Calm down. What's your own?
I'm talking to you now.
No, you can't be.
Listen, yes. No, please. Don't push me.
I'll talk to you.
Don't talk to me anyhow.
Who are you?
Don't talk to me anyhow.
Well, all right, in a statement from his media aide on Wednesday, Umahi defended the meeting, saying that the Nigerian police force, acting within its constitutional mandate to maintain law and order and investigate complaints, acted on a petition submitted by the minister's lawyer, arrested her and invited the honorable minister in line with standard procedure for statesmen. He then called this interaction a calculated attempt to provoke him, adding that Ohiri's accounts have been inconsistent, contradictory, and lacking coherence. The minister has denied ever knowing, meeting this woman. He says he doesn't know this woman. I wish we had time to discuss this story, but I guess it's an unfolding story, and we will follow up on it. Well, now under milestones. As Nigeria welcomes its 23rd Inspector General of Police, we take a moment to highlight the remarkable journey of the man President Tinubu has chosen to lead the Nigeria Police Force, Olatunji Rilwan Disu. Born on April 13, 1966, on Lagos Island, Disu attended Holy Cross Cathedral Primary School before proceeding to St. Gregory's College in Lagos. A scholar and a fighter, Disu holds multiple degrees, including a master's in criminology from Lagos State University, and is a third Dan black belt judo practitioner who won a silver medal at the 33rd U.S. Open Judo Championship in 2022. Disu enlisted in the Nigerian Police Force in 1992 as a cadet assistant superintendent, and his very first major posting was as aide-de-camp to the then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Lagos State, a full-circle moment, as Tinubu, who is now president, is the one who elevated him to the nation's top police job over 3 decades later. His career reads like a masterclass in Nigerian law enforcement, from commanding SARS units across Rivers, Ondo, and Oyo states to leading Nigeria's first police contingent to the African Union peacekeeping mission in Darfur in 2005, where he served as acting chief of staff from 2015 to 2021. He commanded the Lagos Rapid Response Squad, famously rebranding officers as the good guys, reducing crime through community policing. He later headed the Police Intelligence Response Unit, cracking down on fraud syndicates nationwide, while upon assuming office at the force headquarters for his new role as Nigeria's 23rd IGP, Disu described his appointment as humbling and deeply emotional, saying it came completely unexpectedly.
It means a lot to me because I have the love of my profession, the love of the country, and it came at a time I was not expecting it. That makes me give thanks to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The President mentioning a lot of activities about me, mentioning areas I've worked, mentioning successes I've recorded as a policeman, brought emotion to me, almost brought me to tears. It shows the President took his time to monitor officers working everywhere in the country, and it shows the President was throwing a challenge at me to go out there and do what I'm known for and ensure that I bring peace, recognition, and to the country.
All right, well, from ADC to a younger Governor Tinubu to Inspector General of Police under President Tinubu, the Disu story is extraordinary. Well, congratulations to the new IG. We wish him every success in this enormous task that lies ahead. Nigeria is counting on you. Real congratulations. Yes. I know that there's been a lot of, talk about whether he was right for the job and nepotism and all of that, but I have read his credentials, and that's why I thought to highlight his milestone. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And indeed, the task is
well, all right. We'll take our good news report, where we're celebrating Grammy-winning superstar Burna Boy, who has quietly funded a massive transformation of facilities at the Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, revealed to the world by social media activist and NGO founder, Very Dark Man, in a viral 11-minute video posted on Monday. Well, the project was executed through VDM's Martins Vincent O'Shea Initiative NGO, and it includes a complete overhaul of the Polytechnic's Medical Center. VDM praised Burna Boy for his low-key philanthropy, revealing that the artist has secretly funded multiple projects through his NGO, including over 140 million naira for borehole projects across several states and funds for prison releases, all without seeking public credit. The 11-minute video, which has since gone viral on social media, features before and after footage, meetings with school officials, students, and community leaders expressing heartfelt gratitude. The campus now even boasts of a brand new bus stop, officially named the Burna Boy bus stop. What a remarkable show of quiet, purposeful generosity. In a country where infrastructure in our tertiary institution remains a serious challenge, Burna Boy is putting his money where it matters most and doing it without fanfare. Congratulations to Burna Boy and Very Dark Man for this outstanding contribution to Nigerian education and healthcare. Well, I mean, this is huge, huge, huge. I love this sort of collaboration. I mean, Nasarawa, like you were saying, you know, has been a very rich state, but, you know, it's good to see that we have our philanthropists like Burna Boy, VDM, and, you know, people like you. Ayo. Yes, I'm hoping that you will contribute as well. Well, on that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on what's trending.